In this video, we will discuss the 6 tips for a successful IEP meeting. By the end of the video, you should know 6 helpful tips to consider when preparing to have a successful IEP meeting. Having a successful IEP meeting is very obtainable if you know what steps to follow. One main key to the satisfaction of everyone involved is communication. Parents should be informed with their students' progress throughout the year so they can help in goal setting. Open communication between parents and teachers, as well as other team members, is essential to the success of a student's IEP. Input from both the general education and the special education teacher is also important in ensuring the student's needs are met in the appropriate setting. When each part of the team is included, then all of the student's needs can be met in the ways that will benefit the student the most. You would never go on a vacation, run errands, or begin a new project without a plan. The same can be said for a student's IEP meeting. It is imperative that the parents, teachers, and district representatives go into the meeting with ideas already laid out to be discussed. Prior to the meeting, the entire IEP team, which includes the parents and student, should have established what the student's strengths, needs, and goals are. This will make the environment more conducive to productivity and getting the student the services he or she deserves. As for the parents, it is appropriate for you to contact your district representative before the meeting to ask what goals for the student the other members of the team have already discussed. That way, you will be able to be up to speed as soon as you arrive to the meeting. Have you ever been to a meeting and left feeling like nothing was accomplished? Well, designating a meeting facilitator, preferably someone neutral such as a social worker or caseworker, will ensure that the meeting's goals are achieved. The meeting facilitator advocates for the family and educational professionals from the IEP team so that every member knows that he or she is appreciated and that his or her opinion matters. Specifically, the meeting facilitator develops an agenda, presents it at the meeting, reviews ground rules, and monitors the following of the ground rules. The sole responsibility of the meeting facilitator is not to hurry through the agenda, but rather ensure steady progress by guiding the team through clear communication. Every IEP meeting needs an agenda. The point of an agenda is to provide direction for the IEP meeting. It is not meant to rush conversations, but rather be a checklist for the necessary points of the meeting. An effective agenda includes a welcome and introduction, ground rules, summary of assessment data, review of student strengths and weaknesses, IEP development, and closure. The ground rules are needed to ensure positive communication between team members. The facilitator is responsible for organizing the agenda. It should be made prior to the meeting, and all parties of the IEP team should participate, including the parents. The team creating the agenda allows everyone to put their input in on how they think the meeting should flow. The facilitator is responsible for checking off agenda topics in order to keep them on task. All team members should remember that the agenda is fluid and can change at any point in order to meet the needs of the meeting. Every IEP team should create their own ground rules. Ground rules provide team members with positive communication guidelines to follow during an IEP meeting. This promotes positive interpersonal communication with the members of the team and helps to maintain a person-centered planning focus, which can enhance communication throughout the meeting. The members of the IEP team should have knowledge essential to completing the IEP. This knowledge includes student strengths and weaknesses, governing law, assessment data, and curricular requirements. Everyone involved in the IEP process should understand the basic purpose and process of the IEP. Understanding the purpose levels the playing field for all team members. Knowing the basic purpose and process leads to a successful IEP meeting with no surprises. Special education has a numerous amount of acronyms and other jargon that most parents do not know. In an IEP meeting, you should not use those jargons, or when you do explain them. If you know that you are going to use jargon during the meeting, you should provide a list of the words and acronyms and their explanation. The list would help the meeting move along more smoothly and leave out some confusion for parents. In order to give our students the best and education they deserve, we must be consistent and diligent when preparing for our successful IEP meeting.